Pleasure.
Yeah,
Thank you so much. Have a seat.
Good.
And you got some big, strong hands.
Man, I'll walk out to that song if you put me up.
Ladies' night.
Sure.
Listen.
Give me a song. I'm not a ladies' night, to be honest. So like, we had very different careers.
Yeah.
We weren't blessed with the same genetics.
You didn't do those parties. Did you ever attend them?
Do I look like that?
Well, no, but like just as to see him in action.
No.
No.
I don't think I actually knew him.
Oh,
When
okay.
he started there. Yeah.
He's a good-looking guy.
Yeah.
I must say.
Yeah.
But it seems like he's spoken for. He has a 4-month-old. You have a 1-year-old, correct?
She is 1.5 now.
1.5.
Yeah.
First one?
First one, only one.
You're done?
Yeah, one and done.
Why?
One's good. One, you outnumber them, right? There's 2 of you. So like,
But you
when
could do
someone
like
gets
a
tired,
a man-to-man, you know?
I like traveling too, though.
You like traveling?
It gets harder to travel with 2.
Okay. Do you like fatherhood, though?
Yeah, it's cool.
Maybe a chance you love it so much you're like,
Yeah.
I want a sibling. No?
Nah.
Okay.
I do love it a lot, though.
Yeah, of course. I saw you had a beautiful post. I love, you posted something on your Instagram, and I want to ask you specifically about your Instagram. Of course, you're fighting Renato Moicano this week in MSG. Big fight for you, for him. It's a great fight on the card. I believe it was your birthday, and on your birthday, correct me if I'm wrong, you honored your wife.
Right. Yeah,
which is something.
I was in Thailand. Yeah.
Something that you don't see people do.
Yeah, I just...
It was a beautiful gesture, I thought.
Cheers. Thank you. Yeah, she does a lot for me and has done a lot for me. So, yeah, I thought, why not? I nearly missed that birthday. I was like living every day in Thailand, just like living each day and really enjoying it. And then it got to the end of the month and Marissa was like, happy birthday. And I was like, oh, shit. I completely forgot it was September.
So when your family, or when you go to Thailand, your family doesn't come with you?
Yeah, I took them. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I took my wife and my daughter there.
But you just kind of forgot because you were so...
Yeah, I was just into it. I was into every day. I was like catching up with old friends and training at their new gym at Bang Tao and just got lost track of time.
So how do you divide it up? Because I think for like the last couple of weeks of camp, you go back to CKB, but the majority is in Thailand?
No. So all my camps in the UFC and a fair few of them before the UFC have always been at City Kickboxing. And
Okay.
I went over to Thailand just after that last fight, just to like shake off some thoughts and see the boys' new gym. So a bunch of guys that I grew up there with, they opened a gym in an area over there. So I went to go and see it with my family. And then I was just really enjoying the training there at the beginning. And then it was like they've just opened the gym. So there wasn't like heaps of high-level people to train with quite then, but then they just rolled in towards the end of my trip. And then we had this thing happen with our flight where they were like, oh, your flight's been mucked up so you can have a free date change if you want.
Oh.
So we were like, oh, well, we'll just bump it another 4 weeks. So we stayed another 4 weeks. I got some good training and with some different people that I knew nothing about, so it kept me on edge. And then I just came home and finished off the camp.
So how long were you actually in New Zealand for?
I was there like 4 weeks of training.
Okay,
I think about 4 weeks of training.
And I have to ask, you posted something about this vegetarian... What
Festival,
was it?
Vegetarian
What is
Festival.
going on over here? We have some photos from courtesy of your Instagram. These people are putting in Phuket. Here's the video that you posted. What is going on with these people?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's like based around a Chinese religion.
Okay.
If I'm not wrong, like Taoism or Taoism, sometimes D, sometimes a T. And I don't know, I'm saying this live and I don't want to be like
Disrespectful. No,
I don't want to be ridiculed by people that know what's going on, but I'm pretty sure back in the day, a long time ago, there was like a lot of people got sick or something and they like prayed to the gods and then they got better, but maybe they ate some bad meat or something because they stopped eating meat for a while they're doing this, and so they got better. And so they were like, oh, so now the Vegetarian Festival started. And I'm not sure like where the self-harm comes from, but I've never been in the temple like that. So I've been to the festival heaps when I used to live there. And usually you stand on the street and everyone walks past with all the stuff through them already. And you're like, oh shit, but like you didn't see it happen. But we had a friend, one of the office managers from my friend's gym was doing it. She was putting the spears through her face.
Jeez.
So we woke up at 5 a.m. I made a vlog about it. Check it out on my YouTube channel.
Respect. What's it called?
Quake Combat.
All right.
And I made a vlog about it, and we went there at 5 a.m. to the temple in the morning, and where they get it all done before they start doing the walk, and they walk like 9,999 meters with the stuff through their face. And there's like ones from like tiny little spears to like dudes that put swords through their faces, like to that one that guy put like stakes through his face. It's a crazy thing to witness, man. Like, they get into like a trance and they run up these stairs, go into this temple and like pray to some like statues of some gods, come out, whip this rope a few times, come down these other stairs, then bang, bang. They don't even
the whole
flinch,
close.
Man. The whole close, those big ones, there's definitely going to be a scar.
Yeah.
But like the small ones, the lady Anne that did it, she had done it before and she had no scars.
It just seems incredibly painful. You haven't partaked in this, right?
No way.
Okay.
No way, man.
I wasn't sure.
I'm struggling already with looks, man. I don't even stick the stuff through my face. Come on.
I mean, you're a tough guy. I love, you posted something else on your Instagram, and I think you just alluded to it about, after the last fight, you need to go there to kind of reset. And we actually have the quote that you posted about just like the dark thoughts that a fighter goes through, or at least has to kind of, digest and bask in. Here's the quote here. As a fighter, it's natural to have dark thoughts. Sometimes suppressing or ignoring them isn't the solution. As uncomfortable as it is, you must face and address them. If you don't, then at some point you will be forced to. This was just a few weeks ago, end of September 2022. What prompted you to write this?
Because I haven't lost too often in my career. Right? I've had a lot of fights, and so it's not something I've had to face really regularly. So, usually when I lost, I would just, in kickboxing, you'd back up a fight quickly and bang a few together, get a few wins together, thought's gone. This was the first time in my life I've lost twice in a row and 2 stoppages. So it was like, there was a lot of like stuff going on in my head, right? And the first time with Rafa, that was different, like, because we were having a banger fight, made a mistake, and I paid for it, right, against a very dangerous guy. And then, but this one, like, I just got rolled through at the start, right? I got caught with like a sweet body shot by Jalen. It came straight under and it just shut my whole body down. And I had 2 choices, right? It was either lie down and on the ground and get stopped or try survive. So I shot in, got choked, got stopped anyway. But it wasn't like a good feeling, man. And I just wanted to separate my mind from, at that time I was just, in New Zealand I felt like, it's funny, you lose, you feel like everyone's like staring at you and they're judging you, and like I'd go, New Zealand's not a big place, so a lot of people recognize like UFC fighters, and no one ever like critiques you or says anything bad. That's always support. But you'd go somewhere like supermarket or something and someone would be like, it's okay, head up, and it would like come back in and it would come back in. You'd always like hear something every day about it. So it was sort of like haunting me a little bit. So I left with my family just to go to Thailand, and my partner's half Thai and my daughter's obviously part Thai as well. So I was just like, we'll just clear this later, and it worked.
Did it work?
It worked.
Did you feel like you need to build your confidence back up?
No, I'm very confident in my skill set. I feel like my skill set is very, very good everywhere. It was just, I just needed a reset, so I went and did it.
And do you carry any of that into this fight? Do you carry any of the feelings? Like, you obviously don't want to experience loss.
Yeah.
It's a part of the fight game. But do you feel like that can only go away once this fight happens and you're hopefully victorious? How do you separate the two? Or are those completely out of your system?
No, I don't feel like a win is going to like will just fix everything. I feel like I understand that this like sport this is just the way it is. Like, you win and you lose. It's a very, very hard job, and it's whoever turns up on the night. Last one, I didn't turn up on the night. I turned up physically, I just didn't turn up mentally. And so I'm just eager to perform. I don't feel like I've ever performed between like above 90% of my ability in my career. Like, I just don't feel like I have, and so I'm just eager to do that. And that's my drive for this one.
Why do you say you didn't turn up mentally?
It's just, I just wasn't like as hyped and as like focused as I have been in the past. It was nothing to do with training and stuff like that. It was just, don't know, I just felt a little bit different, like, not too sure why. Yeah.
Was it the darn Apex?
The what?
The Apex.
Nah, I don't know. I liked the Apex.
Come on, what do you like about the Apex? It's a freaking empty warehouse.
No, like doing it once is, I think, was a good experience. Like, I only did it once.
It's crap.
Yeah, but it's like a very like, you feel like you're alone in there, like you're facing, like it's a unique experience. I feel like.
But you prefer, I mean, MSG.
Undoubtedly.
Okay.
Like, of course I want to be there. I'd pick that over the Apex any day.
Right.
But felt like the Apex was a good experience to have.
It served its purpose, obviously.
Man, you zone in like heavy there.
There's no, you don't hear anything, right?
You hear everything. That's the thing. You hear everything.
Right.
Yeah. It's like in the crowd that people don't really hear too much.
Right.
But man, you hear that impact in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I mean, with all due respect, like you fought two killers there. Like, I don't know. Those are two of the toughest guys in the division.
I think I fought a killer every single time.
They really do put you in there again. Even Moicano, I know he's coming off the losses, short notice, 4 days notice.
Yeah.
They really do put you in there. They don't give you any like,
but
give me
like,
fights.
I mean, a lightweight division doesn't really have an easy fight, does it? It doesn't have an easy fight, but also like, do you want to like look back on your record and be like, no, that was an easy one. That guy was, I took an easy one because I had a loss, or I knew I was better than that guy before I got, like, you know, like, I want to look back and be like, yeah, I took on everybody that was hard, that was offered to me. Like, I don't want to have any regrets, man. When I look back, like, I want to have fought everybody that was offered to me.
So are you happy with where your career is at right now? Obviously, you didn't want the last two fights to go that way, but no regrets.
I have no regrets, no. I have no regrets. I've had a very long career.
Yeah.
And, I don't have any regrets so far.
How much longer do you want to do this for?
Like a good while. Yeah, a good while. Like, I don't foresee myself stopping anytime soon. Yeah.
Do you feel like your body is
I feel better now than I did a couple years ago, that's for sure. Maybe because less fights, right? I used to fight quite regularly. Like when we were kickboxing, like me and Izzy and even Carlos, right, we had a lot more regular fights, so it was a little bit more taxing, but now it's like a bit more time in between, right, to recover. And, you know, like at 31 years old, I feel good, man. I feel strong. You
also posted recently some lessons that you were kind of imparting, I think, on other fighters about things that you've learned along the way. I mean, you are 30, but you obviously have a lot of wisdom when it comes to the fight game. Why did you feel the need to do this?
I was just thinking when I was in Phuket, I was just like sitting there with my partner thinking about stuff that I'd literally learned along the way. Like, we're thinking about doing some content, and she was like, well, what would you tell the younger fighters? And I was like, that's a good one. So I thought about some things that I'd learned, and I was like, I'll share these, and people seem to really like it. And it's like, it's always good if you can avoid a mistake, right? Like, some people are like, oh, you should, it's part of learning to make the mistake. And I'm like, yeah, but if you can avoid it, then like you avoid getting set back for a bit, right? You can just keep going up. So
what do you wish someone told, the 21-year-old version of you?
Train everything earlier. I think that's my biggest, if I had a regret about martial arts, is I was too focused on being a purist at the start. I was like Muay Thai, like die hard. Like, that was I didn't even like fighting kickboxing in the beginning. If they were like, it's kickboxing, I was like, oh, that's shit. It's like no elbows, no clinching. I'm like, that's not part of it. And then I ended up obviously in kickboxing a lot more. And, but now I look back, I wish I was like, I mean, that's such a narrow channel of training, is just training for Muay Thai, right? You can do pretty much the same stuff every day, right? You hit pads, you hit the bag, do some clinching, but if you just chucked in like every second day an hour of something else, Taekwondo, God, I wish I learned Taekwondo, some boxing, and maybe like every second day a different martial arts, some jiu-jitsu, some wrestling. I mean, that'll accumulate over the years, especially if you're starting, well, I started at 15. if I did 5 years of that, like 3 or 4 hours every week, I mean, that would have added up a lot. And by the time I got to 20 or 22 or 3 when I did my first MMA fight, I would have had a lot more knowledge than I did then.
One thing that I thought was really interesting was you said to invest in your body, to invest in your health, as opposed to investing in material things.
Yeah.
Cars, phones, jewelries. Did you do that?
Not too much. I've seen people do it, and it's like puzzled me a bit. I definitely bought like dumb shit that I shouldn't have bought. Like when I would have bought new shoes and I barely had the money, and I could have probably bought some better groceries that week or some shit. I was not too bad at that. But like, mind you, I didn't have a lot of money. Like if I had a lot more money, it could have been very different.
Right.
Maybe I'd be saying that with a lot more emphasis, but. Lucky I was a broke-ass fighter at the start,
right.
so yeah.
Now that you have a child, though, do you feel like you're a lot more...
Yeah, now I don't spend anything.
You don't spend anything.
Me and my partner, don't spend anything on ourselves, really. Like, most of it's for her. Like, I got a mean van that I spend money on that we camp in, but that's about it. It's most of it's, like, aiming towards travel and things like that.
Is it like one like this?
Nah, it's way cooler, man.
Is it a VW?
Nah, to be honest... If the VW was full drive and had a turbo, I'd be all in for it. But
this is my dream car.
Yeah, they're pretty sick.
I
see a couple going around New Zealand sometimes.
They're legendary.
And I'm like secretly jealous, but to be honest, it's not going to get me up any beach, so it's kind of useless.
It's not?
No, man, you're getting some soft sand. You're going to be stuck. You're going to be pushing.
Really?
Yeah.
So what do you have?
I got a Toyota Hiace. It's a bit jacked up, four-wheel drive. It's good.
How old is it?
Man, it'd be 24 years old now. I was 98.
I want like a 1976 version of this. Like I want the one with the curtains. I want it yellow, orange, some weird color.
Yeah.
And I just want to drive around.
Yeah, you guys got good roads for that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not driving on a beach.
Can get a little more rough,
And
right?
you guys camp?
Yeah, sleep in the van. It's good.
You sleep in the van?
Yeah.
Wow. Is it spacious?
Spacious enough. Like a 1-year-old's only this big, all right?
This is why you only want one kid.
Yeah.
Can't fit multiple in the van.
Yeah. I can get a tent for them. It's all right.
So we were talking to Coach Eugene. I don't know if you were listening to the conversation.
Yeah, I listened to it. Yeah,
incredible. I wish I had 2 hours with him. Could you tell me about this day where he drew a line in the sand and told you all that you were being complacent and that he wasn't going to stand for it anymore? How intense was this? I mean, I felt the intensity with him just telling me about it.
I knew something was coming. Like he'd been grumpy for a few days. I think. I sort of walked into this, right? So I came back from Thailand. I'm not too sure like what was happening before it. I came back on a Friday or something, and I came into the sparring on Saturday. And usually we spar like 8-5s, something like that, right? But it was like, we got up to like 12.
Wow.
12 rounds, and I looked up at the clock, and the clock wasn't going. And I was like, because one of the rounds I was wrestling my mate. I was like, man, this is a really long round. And then I look at the clock's not going. And then I sort of look over at him and he's like, I've got the timer, it'll stop when I stop. I was like, oh, okay. So that was really long. And I was like, oh, maybe he's just, maybe he thinks I was being lazy in Phuket or something and seeing if I was fit. I wasn't too sure. But obviously there was like some ulterior motive with them believing that the boys needed to step up a bit more. So yeah, next day the spider circuit was harder. He was like pausing the timer and stuff.
Oh, wow.
In the middle of it. And then, Monday was, again, heavy sparring. And then Tuesday was the sit down.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what was the sit down like?
Oh, yeah, it was intense, man. Like, it was like, I knew something was coming, but it was like unexpected that it was like that intense. But I always feel like when I go and train, I give it like my all. Like, so yeah, I was, I didn't take it too much to heart. Like I feel personally that I put a lot of effort into my training because I know it's on the line, and like I'm providing for people. So like when I work, I work.
Did you feel like this was something that was needed for the team? Like you guys have become such big names in your country that sometimes you can rest on that. I know you say you work hard, you're providing for people, but this is a byproduct of success, right? So did you feel like you guys all needed that kind of old school kick in the butt?
I think it's required sometimes. I think we have like a very, as everyone knows, it's a very like family team oriented environment there. And there's like, there's the younger fighters that come into that and maybe can get the wrong idea about and get a bit complacent about things. Maybe because of the relationship that we've had with Eugene and the other coaches, because, for like Israel and Blood Diamond and me and Carlos, we've been with them a very long time. So now we have a very different relationship to some of the newer fighters that have come in. And maybe he felt that they were like taking it to, everyone I guess was starting to get like a bit more relaxed and thinking that this was, at the end of the day, it's like, it's a high risk, high reward job, this. So maybe it was, what was required was to like make everybody realize that he's a coach, right, first and foremost. And yeah, his job is to get us to win. And everybody's on the same playing field, whether you're Israel, whether you're an amateur, everyone sits on an even keel.
When you stop fighting, do you want to be a full-time coach?
I haven't thought too much into it, right? I really enjoy coaching now, but that's because I can divide things up in my life, right? But I can have like family days. I can have a day of coaching. I can have a day of training or whatever. I can chop my day up if I need to. So it's like, it's not just train, sleep, train, or I can distract myself and I enjoy doing different things. But I watch Eugene. I've watched Eugene from when we were very early in the sport, flying around to random ass cities in China, fighting people. To now, to him traveling a bit with us, to him traveling with a lot of fighters, to him traveling all the time now, and now he trains like a lot of people at once, right? It's like, and he's had to take on a lot of different hats of like, coach, maybe father figure for this person that's having problems, a life advisor there. And like, I don't know if I would want to be in that position eventually, right? But I feel like I would be similar to him in the aspect that I wouldn't turn people, I would do that for them. But then you just get consumed by it, right? Because he's got a big heart, right? He does all this for people, he just can't say no. And I know I couldn't say no, so I'd maybe try avoid, I don't know if I want to end up there, Big responsibility, man.
Oh my gosh,
and he's got his own family too,
Right. Alex Volkanovski always speaks about you very highly, about what you've done for him, with him. You weren't in Abu Dhabi though, right?
No, I wasn't in Abu Dhabi.
This guy's crazy, Alex Volkanovski. Pound for pound, number one in most people's eyes. He's going to make weight for to be a backup fighter for a time. No one does this. He's just a different kind of level of like the lack of ego that this man possesses, right? Considering everything he's accomplished. And now I feel like they're going to screw him, Brad.
Why?
I feel like they're not going to give him the Islam fight.
Nah.
I'm getting worried about these tweets that I'm seeing and all this stuff.
I don't really go on Twitter what they're saying.
Well, he said, hey, he wrote to Islam, are you a man of your word? And
okay.
Yair wrote to him, are you a man of your word? And Islam's it's like a lot of words being but I don't know. He's got to get the fight. He went all the way.
I assume he would. Like,
you think he will?
I would think Islam. I want to save face, right? Want to keep face and, take the fight,
shook
right?
his hand, right?
Yeah, I know Volk would do it. Like, he's a gamer. He's just a competitor since day one. Like, he's got like he's just a very like complete fighter, right? He's not too aggressive. He's like competitively aggressive.
Yeah.
He's like calculated, smart, and I think it's a very hard fight for Islam. A lot of people, a lot of casuals are thinking that Islam's going to roll through him because he holds people down. But I don't know if you've ever tried holding down a really strong, short guy like that.
Right.
It's difficult, man.
You like this idea of him going up to 55?
Yeah, I think it's great. I think everyone's goal in the sport is to be unique and be remembered, right? And I think he's obviously already there with being the pound for pound best, and just that last fight with Max, he just washed through him. And then why not level up again? Why not do something even greater?
You guys are on a roll. It's a lot of fun to watch you guys, and I love that they put you in this spot. You're the last fight on the prelims, right?
Right.
You're the prelim headliner, as they say.
Yeah.
Moicano's a tough guy.
Very. Yeah, I watched all his fights, and win or lose, he always like leaves it all in there. So it's gonna be good.
And both of you guys, you know, you want to get back on track, right? He took that big gamble. You know, tough spot for him on 4 days. And I don't really think you could chalk much up to that performance, right?
Nah, maybe just like the first couple of rounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's always, I'm sure he's always training, right? He looked like he'd been training. But like later on in the fight, of course, it's going to come down to like fitness, right? But I just judge him by his like best performances. So it's the best thing to do is like prepare for the best of somebody, right? So yeah.
And we started off talking about your Instagram. I also wanted to ask you before we said goodbye about your father. You posted something honoring your father.
Yeah, he's the man. He got we had like some earthquakes in Christchurch a long time ago.
Which is why your nickname is Quake, right?
It is, yep. And so my dad's like, I guess you guys call them like first responders, like emergency service. He's a fireman. He's been a fireman for, man, like over 35 years maybe. Still one. Yeah. This is his last 4 or 5 months or something, and then he's like all done. So he's actually over here.
No way.
He's wandering around the city right now with my mom somewhere.
Wow.
Yeah.
They made the trip.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they haven't traveled in a while, so MSG, they were pretty excited for that, and so they came over. But he got this like, we didn't know anything about it, right? He was just gone for like, we didn't see him for like a fair few days because he was working nonstop because they were trying to pull people out of rubble and whatnot. And I didn't even see that award for years. It was like in a drawer.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. And either my mom showed me it or I bumped into it looking for some stuff in their house. And I was like, shit. And then it turns out that it is like very, very rarely ever been handed out. And it was like, I mean, I can't remember what it said exactly on the thing, but it was awarded because of disregarding the safety of their own life and rescuing or attempting to rescue another human. And then I think about that and I'm like, man, that's some crazy shit, because obviously if you have a family member that was dying or something like that, most people you like to think would try and save like your kid, right? You'd give your life. But I think about those people that do this sort of stuff and like they don't know who they're saving. There's no judgment. That could be a murderer, killer, rapist, anything. But they're just like, I'll risk my life to save that person. You could be saving a dude that just got out of jail on an ankle bracelet that's done some horrific shit. And then this, noble person is going doing that. So I just think it's crazy, man. Like I look at my dad, I'm like, oof.
Hero.
Mental, yeah. It's pretty cool.
I wonder, how long has he been here? Like on this trip, yeah.
Oh, he's been here like 2 days.
2 days. I mean, I think it would be apropos for him to go to the World Trade Center. A lot of heroes just like him.
I'm sure he's
their lives.
Yeah, we just drove past that, and then obviously we saw it back home, but like I've never been to New York. Obviously, it's a very condensed city, and then there were those two enormous towers right there, and there was all these people around. I thought about it. I was like, holy shit, like that. It like kind of give you a bit more awareness about the gravity of it, right? Yeah, but I'm sure he's definitely there having a look.
This is your first time in New York?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Incredible.
And it's actually my first time in Manhattan today to come to see your show. So
really?
To be on your show, yeah.
You'll never forget it.
Nah, it's cool.
And then you're fighting at MSG.
Yeah.
World's most famous arena.
First time in New York.
It's a big freaking deal.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, it's an honor for us. Thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. Good luck to you on Saturday. I can't wait for this fight, and I wish you and the whole team the best of luck as well.
Thank you. I appreciate you. I'll see you again, yeah?
Yes, absolutely. Anytime. There he is, Brad Riddell. What a legend. Big fight for him on Saturday against Renato Moicano.